Hello, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. Can someone give me a sign to say that you can hear me? Someone drop in the chat. I can hear you or something. Okay, good. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining my Ready, Set, Go live virtual workshop. For those of you who do not know me, I am B. I will give you just a little bit of background about who I am, and I'll keep it short and sweet. So I was originally born and raised in Louisiana, North Louisiana to be exact. I have 20 plus years experience in IT in various different roles. I was a software engineer. I was a business analyst, and my current role today is a Scrum Master. And for those of you who aren't aware of what a Scrum Master is, I'll give you a brief description of what a Scrum Master is. A Scrum Master is basically a coach. And as a part of that role, I help other people work more efficiently, individuals as well as teams. So I help the team work better together. I help the teams be more efficient in their own work individually, and I help the organization as well. So I have at least 30 years worth of experience in training and process improvement. That goes all the way back to high school. I know that it's kind of weird for someone to say they've been helping and doing those kinds of things since high school, but I was in leadership roles in high school. So I have been training and helping people improve for 3 decades at least. So outside of my professional life, I am a certified transformational coach, and I help people to do their life better. So very similar to what I do with my 9 to 5, I do that outside of work as well. So this is a part of that, and I will be doing more of this in the future. I also have 2 certifications through the Darius Daniels Premier Certification Academy. I have a coaching certification as well as a speaking certification. And lastly, my biggest mission is just to help people experience freedom. So without further ado, we will get started. The first thing that I would like to do is have you guys that are in the chat give a quick win for either the day or the week, whether it's professional or if it's personal. And I can give a quick win. I can go first. My win for today is that I'm doing something today that I've never done before. This is my very first time hosting one of these events. So I'm excited, nervous, all of the above, but it is a win because it's a step in the direction that I need to go. So let's see what you guys have to say. Anybody have any wins that they would like to share? Okay, I have a win that says that they're trying something new. So thank you for that. Anybody else want to share a win? And I don't know if there's a delay in the comments. I'm not really sure. This is my first time, so I'm not sure. But nevertheless, if you do have some other wins, we will see them shortly. All right, I'll move on. Without further ado, I'll keep going. Just a few housekeeping things. Right, this particular live that I'm doing today is not going to be as interactive in terms of having people speak. But if you do have questions or comments, or you want to provide answers to some of the questions that I may ask, Please enter them in the chat. Hopefully I can see them. I do know that Instagram may have some type of limitations on me being able to see them through the platform that I'm using to stream in all social media sites, but I do have Instagram open, so I will try to look and see if there are comments in the chat in Instagram. And lastly, it is a safe space. There's no judgment zones. We're all here to learn and to share and help make our lives better. Oh, I see a win. Win is my student was able to budget appropriately. That's awesome. That's an awesome win. All right. And so I'll get started. The very first thing that I would like to do is go through what your mental framing should be prior to setting goals. So I'll get started. Let's see. Just bear with me on this technology. I'm still a little new to this, but I will try to get it up here as quickly as possible. So mental framing, it's the way you perceive and understand things and situations based on your past experiences, your belief systems, and other things. Basically, your mental is going to help you, or it's going to influence or shape your thoughts, your behaviors, and the decisions that you make. So it's really important for you to first understand before you start doing your planning. Making sure that you understand where you are is the foundation of setting your goals. So I have a question for you all. What does success mean to you? Can someone drop that in the chat? I'll give you just a second. Okay, I see one, meeting a goal or a deadline. Does anyone else have an idea of what success looks like for them? Having generational wealth, that's good. Time management, that is also good, very good. Do we have any others? Okay. So success is achieving, the achieving of results wanted or hoped for. It's the accomplishments of an aim or a purpose. So basically what that means is success can vary from person to person. It could include personal growth, career achievements, financial stability, relationships, community, health and well-being, happiness and fulfillment. It looks different to everyone how they view success to be. But I'll say true happiness isn't just external achievements. It's about living your life, living a life that aligns with your values and your purpose and aspirations. So just another question for you. What are core values? Not what are your core values. What are core values? Are you familiar with that term? Anybody? I'll help you out. So core values are the fundamentals that govern how you live your life. Does that make sense? It's how you show up in the world, basically. Core values are fundamental beliefs, and they also are guiding principles that help shape your behavior, your decisions. Also from an organizational standpoint, for corporations, that's like a compass on how they work and how they want their goals to be achieved. It's basically a compass that helps you to go in a particular direction. So I'll just throw out one, for example. In terms of core values, let's just say you say that, okay, integrity is one of my core values. If you say that integrity is one of your core values, then that means that integrity should be a reflection of your lifestyle in terms of personally and professionally. So if you say, okay, integrity is something that I value, it's one of my core values, it's one of those non-negotiable things for me and the people who are around me. However, you lie, you do dishonest or unethical things, then do you really value integrity? So basically, I'll just show you a list of core values, and you tell me what are some of your core values. Drop that in the chat for me. I see standards and morals, okay, that you live by. Yes, that is what core values are. So drop in the chat what you believe are your core values. You can just name one, whatever you think, but there's a plethora of different options. I provided some examples just to help guide you, just in case you aren't sure what your core values are. It could be your health, it could be fitness, it could be your spirituality, it could be having more wisdom, it could be having more freedom, family, faith, all of those things could be considered your core values. Okay, so I see perseverance is one. Anyone else have any ideas of what you believe your core values to be? I can name one of mine. One of mine is faith. I'll name another one of my fitness and health and fitness. Definitely my core values as well. When you guys are asking for me to make this larger, and I'm new to this, I'm not really sure how to do that. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to make it bigger. I'm sorry. Let's see. Okay, I just did something. Did that help? I don't know if it helped you or me. I'm not sure if they helped or not. Okay, so I'm saying health and fitness. I'm saying family and success. I'm saying courage. I'm saying integrity, honesty, spiritual commitments. So I see that you guys have a plethora of different core values that you deem to be important in your life. But I have a question though. Do you feel like the core values that you have named are actually values that you are actually reflecting in your life? I don't know if there's a delay or not. Okay, I'll just keep going. I'm not sure if you guys are, if they're, okay, I see some other ones. Faith, health, respect. All right. So like I said, all of these things that you say are your core values should align with your goals. So just another question for you. We're going to get into goal setting. What is a goal? What do you believe a goal is? Drop that in the chat for me. I think I have a delay in the comments showing. Okay, I see something you plan to achieve. That's good. Anyone else? Okay, I see a way to show growth. All of those are really good definitions of goals. Let's just take a look. So a goal is a desired outcome. So basically, it's exactly what you guys added in the comments. It's a desired outcome. It's an end towards effort in which effort is directed. So it's something that you set in order to achieve something that you feel will make you feel like you are successful. And so after this, let's just go and take a dive into some of our goal types. The types of goals. First, we have short-term goals. Those are goals that you can achieve within days, weeks, months, but no more than a year. Something that you will be able to execute from beginning to end within a year or less. Midterm goals are goals that take longer than short goals, of course, but it's like in the middle between short and long term. Midterm goals can be achieved within 1 to 5 years. Then you have long-term goals, which takes more than 5 years to achieve. For example, if you are going to school to be a surgeon, that's one of those more of long-term goals. But if you just say, hey, I just want to go and find a job, you can probably find a job. All things being equal, you can find a job in less than a year. So that's more of a short-term type of goal that you would set for yourself. The next one would be personal. Personal, of course, could include self-improvement, health and fitness, relationships, your emotional intelligence, all those things that are going to help make you a better person all the way around. And then there's professional. Professional is going to be related to your career. If you are an entrepreneur, it's going to be focused on your business and also skilling up and having more skills that are going to help you in your professional career. Oh, I see. Jadelle is saying that a midterm is a new term for her. I agree. I agree as well. It's kind of hard to say you have a short, because usually short term used to be like between 1 and 4 years. But I think the times are different now because everything is so fast and so quick that, people's attention spans are not the same. So I'm guessing, and don't hold me to it, that's the reason why you see a mid term goal, because again, people's attention spans are different. It's just different than what it used to be when we were younger. All right, so we'll get into goals a little more, what goals should be. There are, and I will say before I go back, I'm going to go back just a little bit. So the types of goals, it's not just limited to these. These are just goals that I did choose just to talk about for today. But of course, you can have emotional goals, you can have spiritual goals, you can have different kinds of goals, but those are the only ones that I wanted to kind of point out for a specific reason that we'll get into later. But one of the methodologies or the frameworks that we use for creating goals is SMART goals. Has anyone ever heard of a SMART goal? And there may be a delay. If you are answering, there may be a delay in me receiving your response. Okay, yes, I see some yeses. I see some people who say they've never heard of it before, which is fine because I'll share with you in just a moment. So SMART is an acronym, and we'll dive into what that acronym is. So the first one is S. It's specific. A goal has to be specific, which we will get into more details shortly about what that entails. It also has to be measurable. It has to be achievable. It has to be relevant, and it has to be time bound. So it has to be specific, measurable, achievable, and also relevant, and it also has to have a time bound. So in terms of specifics, let's see if I can get this shown on the screen. Okay, so specific is basically, what are you actually trying to accomplish? What will you accomplish, and how will you accomplish it? So it's basically saying that you need to have clear and concise actions that will help you achieve your goals. And has anyone ever heard the term, well, the quote by Benjamin Franklin that says, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail? Type yes in the chat if you ever heard that before. Okay, I see some people who say they haven't heard of it. Okay, so for me, like I didn't mention earlier, but those who know me know that the very core of who I am, it has something to do with my spirituality. I am a Christian, so some of the lens in which I see life is through that lens. So for me, when I think of a plan, I think of Habakkuk 2:2, and I'll just show it. If you aren't a Christian, just spit the bones out, chew what you want to chew, spit it out. It's not to be offensive to anyone. But I did want to share for those who are interested in knowing about Habakkuk 2:2, which says, I'll show you. I don't know if you can see it. Yes, I think you can see it. It says, write my answer plainly on tablets so that a runner can carry the correct message to others. And basically what that means is you have to have a plan. You have to have something written down that you can see, that can be written in such a way that it's going to be very clear that even if you're not the person that's going to execute all of it, that if you give a piece of it to someone else to execute, that they're going to be able to execute it because of the way it's written. It can be understood by all. So that's basically what I take from that scripture. For me, when I think about planning, God was a planner. He was very intentional about the way he created the world and the things that he created, the people, the animals, the plants, everything that was created. He was very intentional and very strategic about the way he went about creating things. So for me, that's a takeaway for me, to help me understand that, hey, you need to be very strategic about the way that you go about planning your life. Because again, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And I've done that plenty of times. I don't know if you guys have or not, but I have. Didn't have a plan, and yeah, it just didn't go too well. So you want to pick goals that are going to be very clear for you to understand and for you to execute. And I'll just look at the comments just to see what you guys saying. I see someone says, my mentor tells me that all the time. Yeah, it's super important. See what else I see. Yes, I see yeses in here. Okay, so just keep going because I've already kind of started talking about specific, being clear and concise so that you can have define those actions that you need to achieve your goals. Measurable is criteria that you're using to actually track your progress. And it's a way for you to know how you actually achieve the goal. Like, what does it take for me to achieve this goal? And I will show a different banner. So measurable, how will I track the progress is what you're looking to identify in order to know if your goal is measurable and if you have actually achieved the goal. And you want to set checkpoints to evaluate the progress, and also make adjustments if needed, because sometimes you have a plan and sometimes maybe you didn't think it through, or maybe there's some things that came up that you didn't know about, and you need to make adjustments. So you want to be able to have short windows of getting feedback so that you can make adjustments quickly, recalibrate your plan, and keep going so that you can hit your target by the target date. And I'm just reading comments. The next one is achievable. And this is about making sure that your goals are realistic. Are your goals realistic? When you create one, ask yourself, is this realistic? I am the queen of unrealistic goals sometimes. I have goals that are like up here, but I'm not even ready for those goals. I got to start down here. So you want to make sure that you set yourself up for success by picking something or doing something that will be realistic, because we can definitely make some unrealistic goals for ourselves. And then after you've tried and you're like, I can't do it, then you quit and then you're done, instead of changing it to make it something more realistic. So I'll just give you an example. Let's just say you're a person who never eats good, always eating junk, always eating whatever you want to eat. You don't exercise. You haven't done it in months upon months, or maybe even years. But then you set a goal to say, oh, I'm going to lose 50 pounds in 3 months. And that's all things equal, not surgeries or anything like that. Not to knock any surgeries, of course. But you say, I'm going to lose 50 pounds in three months. Do you really think that'll be realistic for that kind of person? Drop in the chat. What do you think? All right. So for me, I don't believe that those are realistic things. Something that would be more realistic, I would say, would be if you've never worked out before, or you haven't worked out in a long time, you've been eating bad for quite some time, and it's very difficult for you to make those changes. Start smaller. Say, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. And then you say, okay, I'm going to do that by doing these particular things. I'm going to just, instead of me saying I'm going to go cold turkey, I'm about to fast, and I'm going to fast, and I'm going to do a 24 type fast. I'm going to do something really extreme. You don't want to do something extreme when you first start. You just start off by just taking away one thing, saying, okay, I'm going to lose weight, or two small things. I'm going to stop drinking sodas. You can say that, or you can say, okay, I'm going to exercise, but for how long though is the question. When you first start, do you really want to say, I want to work out for an hour? Are you really going to work out for an hour? Probably not, but you could probably say, you know what, I'm going to work out for 15 minutes instead. You want to start small to make sure that it's realistic for you. There may be a difference between what's realistic for you and what's realistic for someone else. So just be clear about what you feel is realistic for you. I agree. Mindset has to be all in first. You definitely have to have your mind right before you start doing anything, because that's going to help you determine whether or not it's going to be really realistic for you. That does play a big factor in that. I see another comment that says, I think about high school and college body and discipline. Yeah, sometimes it's a different level of discipline as an older adult than what it was in high school and college. We were probably a little more active then and not so much now. Okay, I see the answers no. Okay. The next thing is relevant. Relevant, those are goals that align with your priorities. So you would ask yourself, why is this goal important to me? And the reason why that's important is because a lot of times when you're doing something and you run into obstacles, you want to really understand, you got to get connected to your why. Your why has to be strong to help push you in times where you face adversity. Let's just say, for instance, your blood work came back and it wasn't favorable. It wasn't good. So setting your goal, your health and fitness goal, your why would be, I need my blood work to be better. I need my lab results to be better, or I need to do X, Y, and Z. But the why has to be very strong for you to continue, especially when times are difficult. When it's easy, you may not have to even think about your why, but there are times when you do have to think about your why. And then also, when you talk about relevant, you want to think about, okay, here are my core values. Is this goal relevant to what my core values are? And I'll say that again. Are your goals aligned with your values? So we just talked earlier about values. We talked about freedom. We talked about security, and some other things that you guys noted. But when you start talking about values, your goals, they have to be aligned with your values. This basically means that, okay, if you're not aligned with your values, perhaps you should reevaluate either if you have the right values or you need to change your goals to reflect that. So why would you be spending a lot of time working on something that's not even aligned to who you say you are? You want who you say you are to reflect what you're doing. So for instance, if you say, okay, health is my value. If you're saying that health is your value, how much time are you putting in to reflect that you value your health? Are you valuing something else more than you're valuing your health? Say, for instance, if you're spending more time scrolling through social media when you really could be working out, or something else, but you have to take a look at your life and examine it to see, are your values aligned with what you say your goals are? All right, the next one is time bound. Time bound is basically setting a deadline so that you can maintain focus and motivation. And the reasons behind that is, if you don't set a time, you really don't have, you're not prioritizing what you're saying that you are wanting to do, and you're putting other things ahead because you haven't made it urgent. You want to make sure that you give it a sense of urgency, and giving it a sense of urgency includes you setting a deadline. Like for me starting doing this this workshop, I had to give myself a date and say, hey, you need to have this done by this time. Otherwise, I'll be like, oh, I got time. And we'll just continue to procrastinate and just keep going down a sea of procrastination. Who wants to do that if you're actually trying to achieve something? So deadlines create accountability. That's not the only way to create accountability, but that is one of the ways to create accountability. And you can even look at it at your job. If your boss gives you a deadline, then you're marching toward that order. Otherwise, you'll be like, I'll do that next week. Because I'm doing that right now. I can't even tell y'all the lie. I'm doing that right now. I don't have a deadline, so I'm just like, I'll do that later. So I don't know, maybe y'all don't do that, but I do. So I definitely need something in order to help keep me focused on achieving what I need to achieve. So now that we have talked about SMART goals, let's talk about ways to track goals. So, tracking goals. Like we talked about before, we wanted to write down those goals. We wanted to make sure that they're plain to where you can easily understand them and execute them. But where should you put them is the question. Where do you put them? Because we said that we needed goals to be measurable. If we want the goals to be measurable and we wanted to be able to track the goals, how are you tracking the goals? So here are some ways that you can track the goals. You can use physical tools, and all of this is a matter of preference. Some people like physical journals, calendars, planners. Some people like to have something physical in order to write down their goals and keep up with them. Then there are other people like me. I like spreadsheets. Excel, Google Sheets, and you can have different columns that say the goal, the start date, the progress, the deadlines, and other notes, and etc. Some people prefer that way. Other people prefer digital apps. I have not ventured out into the digital apps just yet, but I do plan to dive a little more into that soon, very soon actually. But there are digital apps that you can use that have habit trackers. There's Trello, TickTick. I saw TickTick. I looked at some of these and I was like, okay, it's a lot of people that use some of these. Some of these have really good feedback on it. You have Notion, Habitica, I guess that's how you pronounce that, Todoist, and Stride. Those are some of the ones that I saw that people use in terms of digital apps where you can enter your habits and track your goals so that you can keep up with whether or not you're doing them. Then there are accountability tools. You have Beeminder. That one, I don't know about that one. I mean, you could do this one, but Beeminder has consequences, and not just consequences, it has financial consequences. So if you don't stay on track, then there's some type of financial consequence. I don't know what the consequence is. I haven't looked closely, but there are consequences as a result of you not meeting goals in Beeminder. So if you feel like you need that level of accountability, that might be a tool that you can use. Then you have Coach.me. That one is for community support. And community is super important. And I'll say that even for me, because I've been in a community, step community we had a minimum of steps that we have to reach every day, and we get a couple of freebies. Well, we started out and getting one freebie a week, but we started out at 4,000 steps, and that was back in August. Since then, we've increased. We're at 10K every day, but we have to go in and show each other that, hey, I completed this every day. And that really does help you stay on track when you are in a community and having accountability partners that will help you and make sure that you achieve the goals. Because sometimes it's like, oh, I'm tired, I don't really feel like doing it. and you drop that in the group chat, and then people are encouraging you, trying to help you, and saying, no, you got to do it, blah, 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 blah. So giving you a reason to keep going, even in times when you don't want to. Okay, I see a comment that I missed. Okay, you can have goals, but life can sometimes throw you a curveball. That's for sure. For sure. For sure. That's part of the reason why you want to make sure that you have realistic goals, because you have to account for, you can't say, and we'll get into this shortly because we're going to start looking at some goals, but you can't say, oh, I'm going to do this 7 days a week. No, you're not. You're really not. You're really not going to do that 7 days a week. It's no way you're about to do this 7 days a week, because life happens. So you want to be able to add some level of cushion so that you can, still be successful and not like feel away because you didn't do it 7 days. You might have did it 5, but you didn't do it 7. So you want to make sure that whatever goals you're setting, they are realistic. Right. All right. So here are some other goals, goal setting tips. So one thing to do, which we kind of hit on earlier, is to decide the area of focus that you want to focus on. What do you feel like is the most urgent thing? Is it something physical? Is it something spiritual, emotional, relational, financial, or professional? And that could vary in whatever season you're in. But like as of today, what is it that you feel is an area that you need to focus on? So you want to, start evaluating that first to determine, so you can drill down and find what that goal should be. Another thing you want to do is you don't want to set too many goals at once. You want to be kind of conservative. And the reason for that is because you want to be able to select goals that can be achieved. Not only that they can be achieved, but they're achieved in a timely manner. You don't want to say, oh, I'm about to do 6 goals. But the time in which you have, you can't do all 6 of those goals. Not this time. You have to be incremental in your approach to goals. So it's okay for you to list. Let's just say you want to list out for the entire year, I want to achieve these 10 goals. If you set those 10 goals, that's fine. But now you want to do a little more refinement to break them down into smaller increments to say, okay, I do have 10 goals. How are these goals? Maybe group them together. If they're fitness goals, for instance, you may want to group those together and say, okay, so which one is the most urgent? And you want to prioritize those goals based off of what your most urgent needs are. So you can just start at the top and say, okay, these 3 at the top, these are the 3 that I feel are the most urgent. And these are the 3 that I need to prioritize right now. So those are the 3 that I want to start first. And then after you've achieved those, then you move on to the next one. And we'll dive deeper in that as well in just a moment. Okay, I see a comment that says, I try to set goals and reach goals, but time seems to be a major factor for delays or setbacks. Very true. Very true. And we'll talk about that. Okay. Lastly is don't be afraid to use AI to help you with identifying what your goals are. Google has AI now. I don't know if you've noticed when you Google things, sometimes the AI appears at the top and it can help you. ChatGPT is like one of my best friends at this point. Let's just say you have an idea of what it is. All you have to do is give a little bit of a description and you put it in, and ChatGPT, they'll come out and give you a bunch of things that you may not have even thought of. So don't wreck your brain too much on some of these. If you have kind of an idea of what you want to do, just put it in the ChatGPT and ChatGPT will help you refine your goals if need be. Anybody uses AI like ChatGPT or something else? Yeah, it is useful sometimes. I agree. ChatGPT is your friend. That's one of my best friends at this point. It really helps, and it really does save time. It does. It really saves time. All right. So, goals. Question for everybody. How many of you have already set goals? Type yes in the chat if you have. If you haven't, say not yet. I see I need to. I see yes. I see some yeses. Yeah, I'm seeing a little mix of both yeses and nos. Okay. One of the things that I did not mention that I do want to make sure is very important, a part of my actual job that I do as a Scrum Master is, and I'm just going to explain this to see if that makes some sense to you in terms of your goals. So as a Scrum Master and as a Scrum team, and I won't go too deep in it, but I will explain a little bit of it. As a Scrum team, we work in small increments. So let's just say we have one goal that's for 90 days, and we refine it to break it down into smaller pieces so that at the end of the 90 days, we will be finished with that goal. So we do what we call sprints. We do 2-week sprints. So at the beginning of that sprint, we say, what is our goal for these 2 weeks? So we decide what we want to achieve, and then we make a plan on how to achieve it during those two weeks. At the end of the 2 weeks, we do what we call a retrospective. We do a review of the sprint to see what all we accomplished, what all we didn't accomplish. And we do a retrospective, which is we talk about what went well, what can we improve, and what didn't go well. I kind of did them out of order. What went well, what didn't go well, and what can we improve? So it basically allows us to do short windows of doing work, completing work, and evaluating the work to see, okay, do we need to make some adjustments for this next sprint? So I said all that to say, you don't have to do 2-week sprints, but doing frequent evaluations of your goals will help you to make adjustments sooner. If you wait and say, oh, I'm gonna wait to the end of the quarter, now I'm gonna evaluate where I'm at, and then you look back and you say, well, oh, I could have done this, and this, or I shouldn't have done that. You don't want to wait until the end. That's a longer feedback, loop. You want to shorten the window so that you can keep up with making adjustments as soon as possible. The sooner you make the adjustments, the better off you will be. So I said that to say, creating goals, you can create 90-day goals. If you have a big goal for the year, break that goal down into quarters. And once you break them down into quarters of what you want to achieve in every quarter, break those down even more. Well, what can I achieve within a month? Or what can I achieve in 2 weeks? You just keep breaking it down as far as you feel comfortable, basically. And you reevaluate at the end to see, okay, here's my tracker. I've been tracking these things. Here's what I did that I liked. Here's what I did that I did not like. And then come up with ways to actually improve. And then you start over for the next month until you look back at the end, you're done with that particular goal. Or you may be at the end and you say, I didn't really break these goals down good enough, so I still have these particular things left. So you may have to carry it over to the next quarter, but the goal is for you to finish within the quarter. Does that make sense? Okay, I see someone says they like the thought of this. Okay, cool. Yeah, so it really helps you to frequently evaluate where you are so that you can make decisions faster or adjustments faster. Okay, so with that being said, let's create some goals together. I'm going to give you some templates for us to discuss. Okay, first template. This is not a SMART goal template, but I will show you a SMART goal template in just a second. So this one says, I will, and then you have to do a specific goal by this deadline, by these actions. Another example is a SMART one. It looks more comprehensive, but it's detailed in that it helps you. Again, this goes back to making your goals very clear and concise and having a complete full action plan and picture of what you need to do. So for a SMART goal, you say, I want to achieve this specific goal by this specific date, and I will accomplish this by doing these things. And this goal is important to me because, which lets you know, okay, how does this match with my core values? Does this match? Is this truly really important? Is this connected to my why, my whole purpose of why I'm trying to do this? And then this goal is achievable because that lets you recall and really think about the reason why you can achieve this goal. And then you have, I will measure my success by, and then you determine how you plan to track them. So I know it sounds like a lot. You don't have to do it in this format. You can write it differently. If you're using one of those apps or those other tools, they give you other ways to input them in. But this was just a basic template for you to use so that you can start making your goals SMART. And I'll just stop to see if anybody has any feedback. No? Okay. Okay, I see Jaden's already put something in here. I will get my driver's license by the end of the year. That's a good start. That's a good start. Okay, so with that being said, we're gonna go through a couple of exercises, a couple of them, and say if it's smart or not. So I'm gonna show you a goal, and you'll tell me if it's smart or not. And this one that we're looking at now, the core value is health. So this goal is connected to the health core value. I will get healthier. Is this a SMART goal or not? Okay, so I will just show you the answer. So the question is this specific? Is this specific? Oh, and I need to charge my laptop real quick. So, is it specific? No, it's not specific. Do we know why it's not considered specific? It has to be clear and concise. What does it really mean to get healthier? That could mean a whole lot of things. That's very ambiguous. So, right off the bat, it's not specific. Is it measurable? I would say no, it's not measurable because you don't have a way to track it. You don't have dates. You don't have any of that listed in this goal. Is it achievable? I would say, how do you know? It's so vague. How can you achieve it when it's not even concise? How can you just say, oh, I'm going to get healthier? Well, how are you going to get healthier? Next, is it relevant? So for me, I kind of was on the fence about this one. Relevance has something to do with your core values. Does this align with your core values? The core value for this one is health. So for me, I would say it's relevant. It's still not a SMART goal, but to me, it's relevant. And I think we could go either way, could argue either way on that one. Next, is it time bound? And that's pretty easy to see. It has nothing in here that says that it's time bound. So no, I would say that this is not a SMART goal. So we'll do another one. I will lose 15 pounds in 2 months by exercising 4 times a week. Is it SMART or not? Okay, specific. Is it specific? Is it clear and concise? I see some answers. Some people saying no, some people saying yes. Some people saying it's SMART. I would say that it's specific, but is it measurable? I would say yes, it's measurable, but I actually said that wrong, and it's not measurable. I was thinking of another one. Measurable is about how you track the goals. And there's no tracking listed in this particular goal. Is it achievable? I would say yes, it's achievable, but is it measurable? How do you measure it? And you can also argue and say that, okay, well, if I don't have anything to measure it by, how would you even know that it's achievable? Next, is it relevant? I would say yes. And then lastly, is it time bound? And the answer is yes, because it does have specific amount of time in which they're saying that they want this particular goal to be completed. So that's that one. And let's do another one. Is this one SMART or not? This one says, I will lose 15 pounds by 3 months. I will accomplish this by working out for 30 minutes 4 times a week. This goal is important to me because I want my blood work to return normal. This goal is achievable because losing, it should be 15, but it says 5 pounds. Oh, no, 5 pounds a month. That's correct. Is realistic for me, for my lifestyle, and I will have an accountability partner. I will measure my success by weighing myself every other week and make adjustments if needed. Is this SMART or not? Is this realistic? Can they really lose 15 pounds in 3 months? I think you can lose, they say, generally speaking, you can lose 2 pounds a week. So some people can lose 10 a month, but they're saying 15 in 3 months. I would say that yes, this is specific. Yes, this is measurable. Yes, this is achievable. And yes, it's relevant. And yes, it's time bound. So this one would be considered a SMART goal. Does that make sense? Yes, we have details and it's concise. Yes, agreed. Let's do another one. Let's do one about money. So our core value is freedom, financial freedom, basically. This one says, I will save money. Is this SMART or not? Is it specific? I would say no. Is it measurable? I would say no. Is it achievable? Do you really know? Since it's so vague, I would say no. Just saying you're going to save money doesn't mean you're going to save money if you don't fully have it planned out. Is it relevant? Yeah, I can say it's relevant because it's related to your core value, which is freedom. But is it time bound? Absolutely not. So for me, I wouldn't say that this is a SMART goal. Okay, here's another. I will save money by limiting spending. Is this SMART or not? Is it specific? A little. I still think more details need to be there. Is it measurable? No, we haven't come up with any ways of tracking here. Is it achievable? What's the plan? How are you going to limit your spending? That's not there. So I would say no. Is it relevant? Yeah, you can say it's relevant. Is it time bound? No, I wouldn't say that this would be a SMART goal. The next one is, all right, this one's a little big. That kind of gives you a hint. This one says, I will save $500 by 3 months. I will accomplish this by not eating out and cooking at home 5 days a week. This goal is important because I want financial freedom. This is achievable because I will be adjusting my spending by not eating out and cooking at home. I will measure my success by reviewing my bank accounts every Friday and will make adjustments if needed. So for me, I would say that this one is specific, this one is measurable, this one is achievable, this one is relevant, and it also is time bound. So this is a SMART goal. So just want to do a quick recap of all the things that we discussed. I know we're a little over, so I'll try to make this as quick as possible. So just a recap of what we discussed today. We talked about determining what your core values are, because if you're saying that those things are at the very core, the very essence of who you are, what your goals are should align with them. And so that's basically what I said, creating a SMART goal that aligns with your values. And once you create those goals, well, while you're creating those goals, you have to keep your value in mind. If the goal that you're creating doesn't include your values, then is it relevant? Is it even relevant to your life? Or do you need to reevaluate your values altogether? Okay, and then we want to prioritize our goal execution. So let's just say you list out all of your goals. You want to prioritize those goals and rank them from most urgent to least urgent. And you want to start picking from the top, picking those items that you want to achieve first, that are going to be the most urgent. Then you want to be able to have a tracking system so that you can use that to evaluate your progress against your goal, to see if, hey, am I on track? Do I need to make some adjustments? Do I need to tweak some things? But you need to have some type of tracking so that you can evaluate if what you're doing is working or if you need to make some adjustments. And I just talked about making adjustments as needed. All right. Lastly, the importance of having a trusted accountability partner makes a lot of difference. They say if you want to go further, faster, you want to do that with people. You want to do that in community. of people who can hold you accountable, even when you don't really feel like being accountable. It's still, you'll be grateful for it later on, that you have trusted individuals that will stick beside you and help you, especially in the times when you really want to fold. All right, so Q&A. Are there any questions for me? And I think there is a delay in me seeing the comments, but I'll give it a second to see if you guys have questions. If you have some questions, drop them in the chat. Oh, thank you. You said you were struggling with planning today, and this gives you a refresher. Cool. Thank you. Great. All right. You can still drop them in the chat, but I'll just continue just for time's sake. If you still have questions, I'll take a look at those questions. So, next steps. What are your next steps? Do you feel like you need some additional information to help you refine any of your goals, or create new goals, or also integrate your habits to achieve the goals that you're actually trying to achieve? Do you feel like you need a little more help? Do you feel like you need a little more time to be able to actually really get this thing down? How are you feeling? Do you feel like this was helpful, or do you need more? If you say that you need more, type more in the chat. Just want to determine, like, where do you feel like, where do you want to go from here? Do you want more, or are you good where you are? Just want to get some feedback from everybody. Thank you, Brent. So I said that to say, there is more if you should choose to do so. I will share my next screen. So this is the next step if you want to continue with achieving your goals. I have created a 30-day challenge. It's called the Habit Glow Up. It is free. I'll say it again. It is free. It is a 30-day challenge that will help you transform your habits to achieve your goals. So let's just say you set them, or you're going to work on setting some. We'll take those goals and we'll transform those into daily habits to help you to become who you need to become to achieve those goals. And again, this is a free thing that I will be doing. It consists of doing lives. It'll be between, the first day will be on the 14th of April. That'll be the kickoff, where I'll give you more details about what we will cover in those sessions. They're going to be live sessions every Monday, starting on the 14th through the 12th of May. So every Monday we'll cover certain lessons to help you integrate making your daily habits align to meet your goals. And then included in that would be not only the weekly sessions, I'll do weekly lessons, but then I'll have carve out time to answer questions, because there will be some homework for you to do in preparation of the next class. So you'll get the homework, you'll know what to do, and then when we come back, I'll be able to answer any questions that you may have about whatever the lesson entailed. And also you'll get accountability, because we'll be in accountability and community. They kind of go together. You'll be able to have people that are working on the same thing that you are. It may not be the same exact goal that you're working on. However, they're still working towards something, and we can work on things together. We're better when we're together. So you'll get community, you'll get accountability, and you'll get these weekly lessons that'll help you become better, and that will help you achieve your goals. So if you are interested in signing up, you have a couple weeks to sign up. I'm trying to get better. Of course, this is my first time doing any of this, but I'll get better as I go. But if you're interested, I will provide a link. You can take that. If I don't know what kind of phones you have, but the QR code, there is a link on that. And then you may see, and you may not see my link tree, because I know you guys said that everything was kind of small, but I'll try to put it up on the screen. Hopefully you can see that. If not, I'll drop this in the chat too, so that you can see it. And let me see if I can click on those links so that I can drop the links in the chat. So you can either go to my link tree, and at the top of my link tree, you'll see a 30-day glow up challenge. And you just click on it, and it'll take you to the Eventbrite page, and that's where you sign up. It'll ask you to select a date, and hopefully it doesn't give you more than one date, although we will be doing it for more than one date. You only have to sign up one time. So when you sign up for once, that'll be for the entire 30-day challenge. So that you can copy that, screenshot that, or you could also go to Eventbrite. That's a little longer, so that's why I was kind of saying go to the 30-day challenge link using my Eventbrite. I'm sorry, using my link tree. But I'll try to get I have so much stuff up right now. I'm trying to get to where it is so I can put the link directly in the chat. Give me just a second. Okay, let's see. Sorry, that screen is kind of small with all the stuff that I have open. There's the Eventbrite link. Here's the Eventbrite link. And see if I can just get you the link tree. I don't know the last time I shared that one. If you could just screenshot, I'll actually post this too. So if you don't get it today, I'll post it on all of my socials for you to see it. But again, you guys are welcome to join. You have a couple weeks to think about it if you want to think about it. But again, this is completely free. This is to help everyone do better, because every year we set goals and we say, yeah, I have this thing I want to do, this thing I want to do, this thing I want to do, and then you don't do any of them. So this year, even at my church, we proclaim this year to be the year of momentum. And the only way you're gonna have momentum is if you start moving. You got to start moving. You got to be strategic about how you move. And this is just some steps forward to help you to get that momentum and move forward and actually achieve some things. So hopefully this was helpful. If you have feedback, I'm open to hearing any and all feedback. Yeah, so that's all I have. Thank you all. Take care.